Hey guys, I really wasn't planning on going live again, but I have to. This code I'm going to add to my book, All Professional Sports Decoded Rituals. It's not just going to be about Dortmund, it's also about the death of Argentina's coach, who won the World Cup in 1978 with Maradona. He died on 5-5, and I've only just seen it. I was going on 433 to find an image for the Dortmund game, and I saw he's dead. I'm like, oh my word, really? This is going to connect to when Messi won the World Cup. Right, before I get into this, guys, I don't have any notes or anything like that. Now, Dortmund, right? They're a big club, but they're struggling this year in the Bundesliga. They're actually 5th in the league, and they have 60 points. Now, they've just made the Champions League final. 2024 Champions League final. And it's going to be played in London, England. Now, the last time Dortmund got to a Champions League final was in 2013. That final was in England. And they got beat by Bayern Munich. Now, guys, do what you want with this. This is where it's more than what's your pick. I know you guys who watch me now, you know that. If, this is a huge if, and it's not a pick, if Bayern Munich play Dortmund at Wembley exactly 11 years after, the year where Germany is hosting the Euros, where England's captain is playing, where Sancho's playing. Sancho missed one of the penalties for England in the Euro 2020 final against Italy. He had a nightmare, torrid time in England with the Red Devils. He's gone back to Dortmund. He's become world-class again suddenly. And now he's going to be playing at Wembley. So this seems like his retribution, which I said they would all get. Sancho, Saka, Rashford. They get quite a lot of success after those penalty misses. And I noticed that 2013 Champions League final was on the 25th of May. Okay? And who died on the 25th of May? George Floyd. And if you go back to the penalty shootout that England lost against Italy, the 3 players that missed penalties were all black, whilst they were pushing Black Lives Matter and taking a knee. And Bayern Munich beat Dortmund 2-1. War equals 21. And it was the 21st edition of the Champions League. I'm gobsmacked. So again, obviously Real Madrid have an unbelievable riddle. They always do. They're the kings of Europe. I ain't going to be shocked if they qualify. But for a coder and a guy who really cares about the truth, genuinely cares, who's done this for a while now, I would love if it's Bayern Munich and Dortmund to back up my work. Not this season. All right, I've nailed football this season, not the Champions League futures, not even close. But for me now, if this is Dortmund Bayern, it's going to be a great code. Of course, it could be Dortmund against Madrid, Bellingham against his old club. There's so many narratives. Have you noticed as well, guys? Ain't this a coincidence? Yeah, I typed up Borussia. I told you all they have Russia at the end of the name. Russia, Borussia, Germany, war. Israel was attacked by Hamas on Vladimir Putin's 71st birthday. The Russian president, 71's the 20th prime. They qualified 2-0 on aggregate. Now, and France, I said in my stream yesterday, France said they're going to come after Russia. Didn't they? So I think PSG going out is not a good sign for France. And somebody coded Mbappe on my website. I didn't think he was scoring because he's on 42 Champions League goals. He's leaving Paris Saint-Germain with 42 Champions League goals. Can somebody give me a woo in the chat? God bless you all watching. 42. War equals 42. World War equals 42. Albert Pike predicted 3 world wars. He died on 4-2. Pele died on his birthday. The only player to ever win 3 World Cups. He died in 2022 like I predicted he would in 2021. So Mbappe wasn't going to score. And what I need to say to you all is this. All right? Guys, please hit the like. Please don't make me ask. Please don't make me ask. I've lost my track of thought now. Right. PSG didn't score over 2 legs. Now, I'm gobsmacked, and I think all of you are. All right. That Paris Saint-Germain didn't score 1 goal against Dortmund, who were 5th in the Bundesliga, and PSG are unbelievable at home. Now, they didn't score 1 goal in, let's say, 190 minutes when you add up the added time. It's a lot of time. But you know what they did do? Guys, they hit the post 6 times in 2 legs. They hit the post 6 times, watch the highlights, over 2 legs. I'm going to say that a few more times just so, because, guys, you know how hard it is like to hit the post, especially for those who still believe they rehearse it. Do you know how hard it is to hit the post? My mate Thomas Lockwood sent me an image, a video actually, of PSG hitting the bar, and it was the underside of the bar. It's an unbelievable strike. How do you hit the woodwork 6 times in 2 games? And I didn't watch any of the games. I'm going off highlights. I'm going off what my friends tell me. And PSG could have had about 15 goals over 2 legs. I heard they missed a lot of sitters. Like, not just hitting the post and bar, but Mbappe at the post in Dortmund. He hit the bar in Paris. But it's the 6 and the 2. Elizabeth was coronated in 1953 on 6-2, and 1,953 is the 60-second triangular number. How did they not score a goal? Darrell, thank you so much. Thank you for the support with the super chats. I'm very grateful for them. It's like, I don't want to be doing this stream, but I have to. Like, it's just one of those things. I don't really want to be talking about Dortmund and all of that, but it's just crazy. Hey, Gene. What you doing, Gene? Real Madrid never lose finals yet, but they're not there yet. Now, last night, I'll tell you something. Doing what I do at times, like I'm gifted at coding sports, but doing what I'm doing at times with sports makes me want to poke my eyes out. I'll tell you that for nothing. So last night, I was like, oh no, there's a Champions League game. I've got to code it. It's a semi-final. Like I told you, I'm not as excited by coding as I used to be, but I still do it. I'm typing it up, PSG versus Borussia Dortmund, and I'm typing it up. None of you guys can see how I'm typing it up. All right? And straight away, I'll tell you how it works. I looked into Luis Enrique, who's the head coach of Paris Saint-Germain. I looked into him, and I saw he was on 287 career wins. So I typed it up, all right? And I literally said, take Dortmund to qualify plus 110. I don't think Enrique comes off 287 wins because World War I began 28-7. And I like a German team in the final in England because I originally said it would be Man City against Bayern Munich before the season began. Man City have gone. They got beat by Real Madrid. Bayern could still get there, but who knows? So I was like, okay, that's just clean. And then what do? You start going deeper and deeper. And I was like, Mbappe's not winning the Champions League. I said he won't win the Champions League in his last ever game for PSG. It won't happen. But could they get there? Sure, they could. So part of me was like, if PSG go through, just hammer them to get beat in the final. Mbappe is not going out a winner. And he's staying on 42 goals. So that was my mindset. And then you start going deeper, like I said. I'm like, let me look into the 2020 Champions League final. That was on Kobe's 42nd birthday, which was PSG against Bayern. Another reason why I didn't like Mbappe to score another goal for PSG in the Champions League. I was like, maybe there's something there. Bayern won that on Kobe's 42nd birthday. Is there a chance Bayern could play Paris again 4 years later? There's a chance. Let me look at the numbers. Wait, that final was on Kobe's birthday, 23/8, and today has 238 days left in the year. Oh, that's tough. And I was like, wait, no, Paris. Are Dortmund going to knock out Paris? Pope Francis, a member of the Society of Jesus that was founded in Paris, France. And the 2013 Champions League final was Dortmund against Bayern the year he became the Pope. Is it going to be two German teams? No, wait. Two German teams in England. I keep talking about war. Are they really going to do that? Are they going to repeat it 11 years later? And the Queen's funeral was 11 days after she died at 11 a.m. and World War I ended on 11/11. Well, that's good for Enrique not to win with the 287 wins. But let me go deeper. And I went on this. That's why I said, like, most people are going to hammer PSG to win because they still believe in it all. So Ancelotti could go 4-2 in finals. That's very true. And he could go 5-1, which is when the Illuminati were founded. I found it funny that in Dortmund's last league game, they won 5-1. And the first leg of the tie against Paris Saint-Germain was on 5-1 when the Illuminati were founded. Yeah, it's the 69th edition of the European Cup. Borussia Dortmund equals 69. For me, that's not enough. For me, this is me. We all have our own insights. For me, typing up a big code with just gematria is not enough. And I think even if they win it, it's not because of that. The 69 is even bigger. Do you want me to give you some more 69s? Guys, hit the like for me, please. This is crazy. Again, guys, do as you wish. I don't know who's winning the Champions League. Neither do you. But ain't this pretty interesting? Either way, whatever happens, you're either going to have the kings of Europe in the Champions League final in London, and we've just had King Charles coronated. And remember, Man City won the treble on Prince Philip's birthday, who was the father of King Charles. We're either going to have the kings of Europe against Bayern and Bellingham against his old club. Notice Marco Reus is going to be there. Champions League finals, his last ever game. Or you're going to have Bayern against Dortmund. All German final, 11 years after the previous one that was in London. Now, either way, that's pretty insane. Bayer Leverkusen are dominating the league. And the second place team in Germany and the fifth place are dominating the Champions League. And Elizabeth became the queen at age 25. In 52. Pope equals 25 and 52. Pope equals 11. And Bayern played Dortmund 11 years ago in the Champions League final. Arjen Robben got man of the match, who played in England with Chelsea. And he also played for Real Madrid. So you see how complex it is. But the 69s, it's the 69th edition of the European Cup. And I told you all before the season began, it connected to the Queen. Can I get a woo if you're on my website? I said it's the Queen. Because Queen Elizabeth equals 69. And this is where you add information and not just type that in a calculator. She was coronated exactly 69 weeks after she became the Queen. So when I saw that, I did a code. This is why the 2024 Champions League final is being played in London, England. It's about the Queen. And I've shown you that if you look into the bloodline of the royal family, it's German. It's German. That's why Germany won the Euros in 96, which were hosted in England, and they knocked out England. First Royce season, he reaches the Champions League final in Wembley, and his last season after 11, he plays the final in Wembley. Oh, my word, yeah, and that's his jersey number. I have my book, guys. Somebody bought it today, and my friend Austin wants it as well. I'm going to add to it with the codes I've done this year, but yeah. So Royce in his first season with Dortmund gets to Wembley, plays against Bayern Munich, loses. 11 years later, he's back at Wembley, and he wears number 11. And he's like the biggest hero in the history of Dortmund is Marco Reus. I looked into the Champions League teams that won 6-1 during the season. Dortmund were one of the only teams. Oh my word. Are you saying that because the Champions League final's on 6-1? It's on 6-1, isn't it? Wow. 61's the 18th prime, though, and Real Madrid can go to the 18th major European Cup final. This is really hard, guys. I don't want to be here telling you. I know you all want me to tell you who I think is going to win. Was it last week I said Real Madrid? But stuff happened. I don't know who's winning this Champions League, guys. Don't come to my website thinking I'm telling you who's going to win it. I'm going to code tomorrow's game. I'll code the Champions League final. Usually I'm supremely confident. I'm not here. There's too many narratives. And guys, I'm usually supremely confident. I know some of you will be like, well, what's the point in sharing this if you don't know who's going to win? Usually I'm really confident. This, I'm not. My website's been hammering Dortmund all season. A lot of members have been on Dortmund. And you know what? I'm going to give him a shout out, even though I don't really respect his work. Scripts Unveiled's been talking about Dortmund for a long time. So if they win, good for him. I'm not keen on his code, but he has mentioned them. But he also mentioned Man City and Barcelona. We do that as coders sometimes. But I don't know if people want Dortmund because of him or they saw stuff themselves. But they're there. They've made it. I never thought Dortmund were getting there. But I will tell you this. Ain't this interesting? Ain't this interesting? Who is leaving Liverpool at the end of the season? There's 42 weeks from Dortmund's 6-1 win to the Champions League final. Quotes 101, who are you? And get on my website. That's the type of coding that makes me go, wow. Are you on my website? Or are you just a coder? If you're just a regular coder, let me promote you. I don't even know who you are. I'll promote you right now for that one find. That's the way my mind works. That's superb, mate. Whoever you are, let me promote you. If you have your own page, whatever, just that find alone. He's seen the 6-1. He's looked into a team that won 6-1 this season. He knows the Champions League finals on 6-1. He'll know all about the 42s. Notice in the the second leg, PSG hit the woodwork 4 times. And in the first leg, they hit it twice, 42. So I said Mbappe was staying on 42 goals for Paris Saint-Germain. He was going to leave that club. Vatican City was founded the 42nd day of the year. All right. Jesuit Pope resides in Vatican City, Pope Francis. It's Wi-Fi Mogul. Oh, he's on my website. Yeah, he's amazing. I appreciate you, brother. You're incredible. He's one who's been talking about Dortmund forever and a day. So, guys, I'm glad he's on my website. These are the type of people you'll come across on my website. There's loads of them. God bless you, mate. Thank you for all that you do and everything that you share. Adam, did you get my email about AC/DC? No, brother, I messaged you. There's no email. I've got the aeders11@gmail.com. I got my illusion email. Where did you send it? I haven't got it. I was excited to read it. So Wi-Fi Mogul, God bless you, mate. Right, so I've just said it, and please send me it again, mate. My email's in the description. I also want to say a big thank you. I'm not going to say this person's name, but I'm going to read this out because it made me very emotional. I don't really get emotional. Guys, do you mind if I read out this? I'm going off topic. I'll go back to Jurgen Klopp in a moment. My throat, man. I'm going to read this out. If you're watching, you know who you are. I'm not going to say your name, okay? But you made my day with this. So somebody sent me $9. I thought it was to buy a book. I was like, okay, that's nice. I'm always grateful when people buy my books. And I know that people love them when they read them. But he just sent me $9. Then I wanted to know why. So I went on my PayPal and I read the message. And I'm getting goosebumps now thinking about it. I read the message. Let me read it out to you. This is what This is what is so important to me, things like this. So I won't say the person's name, but I'm sure they're watching. Hi. Not for any book, referring to the $9. Just on behalf of my brother. Oh, man. The goosebumps, guys. I emailed him the PDF copy of End Times Prophecy that I bought off you. I've only read up to page 45. So far, absolutely mind-blown connections, mate. Since reading your book, I've quit gaming, permanently deleted 1,500 gaming library, other platforms with thousands of hours spent. I've been, oh my word, I've been sober for over 2 weeks fully, almost a month without alcohol. Your book has helped ignite the flame to get me back to Christ and the truth. Thanks a lot and God bless. I'm nearly crying. I'm not trying to show my arms off here. So when I get an email like that, that's from a book that I wrote. And I've led him away from gaming, not gambling, gaming. Because we know people, if you notice, a lot of celebrities heavily promote gaming because they know it's so addictive and it leads you away from the Word of God and the Bible. Gaming is addictive. I never got into it, thankfully. I occasionally played video games. I was never a gamer. I was never that into it. But when I get an email like that, that just makes my day, man. You saw the goosebumps. Or you have goosebumps. So, yeah. Anyways, if you're watching, I won't say your name, but thank you. Yes, I appreciate the $9, but the message, oh my word, that just warmed my soul. Right. Let's get back to where I was. Jurgen Klopp, I told you all before the season began, Jurgen Klopp's going to leave Liverpool at the end of the season. Jurgen Klopp left, and he announced it. Well, he announced he was leaving on the 4-year death anniversary of Kobe Bryant. Right? Jurgen Klopp coached at Dortmund, guys. Can you save it and print it, the message? Yeah. See if it fits. What I'll do for you, I'll put the message as a comment. Once the stream's done, I'll pin it. I won't say the person's name. Klopp was at Dortmund. So how interesting that he's had this incredible time, this 8 years with Liverpool. And then the year that he announces he's leaving, his beloved Dortmund get to the Champions League final in England. We know Klopp won the League Cup at Wembley Stadium this year, which I coded before the season began, eh? And England's Euro 2024 campaign begins on Jurgen Klopp's birthday. Does 49 have any significance with these teams? Just it's 7 times 7. Prince Philip died on 4-9. 49's big in gematria with Revelations 49, Antichrist 49. Pi is 22 divided by 7. 227 is the 49th prime. But enjoy your road trip, brother. Now, if you go look at the Bundesliga, this is going to be the 32nd edition of the Champions League, right? The 32nd edition. If you go to the Bundesliga table, please hit the like button, guys. You can check this for yourself. Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund have both played 32 games in the league. And this is the 32nd edition of the Champions League. So I'm telling you, if Bayern get there, it'll be amazing for a book, for me. Well, to put it in my book. I think Real Madrid have the best individual code, but if this whole thing is war and German teams in England. Now, I'm going to ask you this question. Again, like I said, I look at these games differently. I'm right a lot, but I'm not always right because see how complex it is. Am I going to be shocked if it's Dortmund Bayern? No. The only thing that would have shocked me was if PSG won an Mbappe in his last ever game for them, with all the turmoil that he's had in Paris. How many points do Bayern Munich have right now? Somebody tell me, how many points do Bayern have in the Bundesliga currently? I'm going to have to really look into this. It's so hard to code against Real Madrid, though. They have every number. It's like coding against LeBron. He just has every number. But I started to see through it as he got older. I guess I'll tell you, maybe you don't want to look yourself. This is the 69th edition of the European Cup. And Bayern have 69 points. I just find that really interesting. Anybody else? Maybe that's why they haven't. Maybe they had to be on that 69 points now. Now, is Harry Kane going to win his first major trophy in London with Bayern? I find it hard to believe. But do you want me to tell you something else, how hard this is? Oh, this is tough, man. This is really tough, but fun. Remember, detectives don't always solve every case. Doesn't make them frauds. Still find this fun occasionally. The Champions League finals on 6-1. And you all know I coded Real Madrid to win the league before the season began. 36 title connected to Jude Bellingham and Maradona. Guys, Real Madrid right now in La Liga have 6 draws and 1 loss. And the Champions League finals on 6-1. You've just got to 61 the 18th prime. They can get to the 18th European Cup final. They can become 15-3 with a win and the finals on the 153rd day of the year. That worries me. I've said this to people. I want it to be that obvious. It's like I said yesterday on my site. I said, the Knicks or Nuggets are not winning because every man and his dog are going to do a parlay for the Knicks and Nuggets. Both of them were minus 200. So they would have got over even money. I was like, one of them loses. So when the Knicks won, I was like, Nuggets will lose. If the Knicks would have lost, I would have said Nuggets would win. I can pretty much read it. Now, I think everyone bet on Real Madrid and Paris Saint-Germain, didn't they? Can somebody give me a woo? They probably did a parlay, Real Madrid and PSG, to get to the Champions League final. Because that's just what you think. We see them as the 2 best teams. I don't know why Paris Saint-Germain are so highly regarded. They're playing the French league. I don't think their squad's that great. But yeah, so you got Bayern on 69 points. It's the 69th edition of the European Cup. The finals on 6-1, and then you have Real Madrid on 6 draws and 1 loss in the league. They don't make this stuff easy. So Madrid have already got the league title. Bayern Munich haven't won anything. Dortmund haven't won anything. Now, I need to... There was a European Cup final in 1978. And it was in England. And now I'm going to talk about why. The year Kobe was born. Liverpool beat Bruges, by the way, 1-0 in that. I'm going to tell you why the head coach of the 1978 Argentina World Cup winning team died on 5-5. Are you ready for this? Guys, please hit the like for this. My throat, again, is going. I don't know if it's that air conditioner. I was going to do a separate video, but I'm not. I want a bit of time for Adam today. This is crazy. A lot of you won't even know he's just died. This again will have to go in my book. I'll have to type up the code. So his name was Cesar Luis Menotti. He was also known as El Flaco. He played for Argentina, and he was the head coach that led them to the 1978 FIFA World Cup, where Maradona was the captain. And he was born 11/5, which is bonfire night in England. And 11 times 5 is 55, and he just died on 5/5 in Buenos Aires. But El Flaco, by the way, means slim. Now, he connects to Newell Old Boys as well, just like Maradona, just like Messi. But he's just died. So, of course, what did I do? I was like, he's died on 5/5. Wait, let me go back to my book that I wrote. Wait, Sergio Aguero played his last ever game, professional game, on Diego Maradona's birthday. And Aguero, he got with Maradona's daughter. They have a child together called Benjamin, the first name of Netanyahu. And Aguero, he announced his retirement December the 15th, 2021, exactly 55 weeks after Maradona died. Argentina equals 55. Now, the Argentina coach that guided Maradona to the 1978 World Cup, he just died on 5/5. Guys, you're hearing this? I actually want to cry how crazy this is. It sounds dramatic. But if you guys, please purchase my books. If you purchase my books, you will see this and go, wow. You can even add, you can get my books and add your own codes to them. This is remarkable, guys. This guy died on 5/5. Aguero retired exactly 55 weeks after Maradona died. And Aguero's last ever game was on Maradona's birthday, where he retired because of heart complications. And Maradona died of a heart attack. And Angel Di Maria, means Angel of Mary, does the heart celebration. And he's born on Valentine's Day, the same day as Christian Eriksen, who also had a cardiac arrest, who plays for the Red Devils. And Red Devils equals 55, just like Satan. I have to wait until payday. Okay. Any support, I'd appreciate it, because it's going to help you as well. I found you on Instagram. Awesome. Baram, do you actually have a podcast? Maradona's height, 5'5". Yes, because Messi's 5'7". And today's date's 5'7", isn't it? So again, later on tonight, just when I'm supposed to have a day off, I'm going to have to update my book. Baram, if you have a podcast, I'll come on your podcast. Okay, if you want me as a guest, if you actually have a podcast. Mbappe, 42 Champions League goals. Ancelotti could go 4-2 in finals. Mbappe weighs 7, and Real Madrid have 7 Champions League trophies. That's awesome. The World Cup final, the shootout was 4-2. But Madrid have connected to Messi this year. Messi got his 8th Ballon d'Or. And 8's been huge. Real Madrid can get that 8th Champions League. England got knocked out of the World Cup in the last 8. Who knocked them out? France. So check this out now, right? So I checked into the Argentina coach that just died, Cesar Luis Menotti. And I looked into his death date, and I did the duration from when Argentina won the World Cup final, which was December the 18th, 2022. Now check this out. I'm just gobsmacked. Argentina won the World Cup on 72 dating emoji pure. 12 plus 18 plus 20 plus 22, 72. Cesar Luis Menotti has just died exactly 72 weeks after Argentina won the World Cup. Pope Francis is Argentinian. Argentina beat France in the World Cup final a day after the Pope turned 86. And Maradona won the World Cup in 86. Let me go back. Maradona won the World Cup in 86. Argentina won it in 78. Okay? But Pope Francis became the Pope on the 72nd day of 2013. 2013 was the Dortmund Bayern Munich Champions League final in London. The 72 goetic demons. We know in the Quran, we know in Islam, you get 72 virgins if you die for your religion. Brady won his last Super Bowl 55, on the 7th of February, a date written 7-2. Do you know Ronaldo was born a span of 7 weeks and 2 days after the Pope's birthday? I'd love to get you on. Yeah, email me, brother. Even if you have a small following, I'll come on. That's great call with the Maradona being 5'5". So where do we go with all of this? Like, did Aguero have an issue with his heart? Why was he on the pitch with champagne and smoking a cigar when Argentina won the World Cup final if he has a heart condition? Guys, for me, I don't care what you say. If I was a professional footballer and my career got cut short and I spent my whole career playing for England, for example, because I'm English, and then something happens with my heart, and then England win the World Cup right after I retire, I'd actually be a bit gutted. Can somebody give me a woo? I'd feel gutted. I won't be out there drinking champagne and smoking the cigar. But remember, watch my video. It's Sergio Aguero retires at age 33. Sacrifice for Argentina to win the World Cup. And then they became 3-3 in World Cup finals. I knew all this before. And the game finished 3-3 in the final. And France's dialing code is +33. Now, this Argentina coach has just died 16 months and 17 days after Messi won the World Cup. And 1,617 is the 33rd pentagonal number. He also died on the 126th day of the year. The World Cup that Messi won began with 41 days left. And he won it with 13 days left. Kobe Bryant died at age 41 with his 13-year-old daughter on 126. This Argentina coach, he won the World Cup the year Kobe was born, and he just died on the 126th day of the year. So I keep talking about back-to-backs. If it is Bayern and Dortmund, that's a back-to-back. It's back-to-back in regards to Bayern and Dortmund making it to the Champions League final in London. That is a back-to-back. Back-to-back is not always year after year. Okay? That's not how it works. It would be a back-to-back. It'd be a second time in a row that two German teams, Bayern and Dortmund, got to the final, where the final's at Wembley. That's a back-to-back. So Baram's saying basically it was about Ali McCoy's video where Dortmund played AC/DC and his reaction went viral. Tonight they have played AC/DC again at PSG. AC/DC. Antichrist. They're Australian, aren't they? Guys, their most famous song is literally called Highway to Hell. Highway to Hell. And you see people singing it. Wait, their song, Highway to Hell, was from the movie Live at River Plate. And River Plate's one of the biggest Argentinian teams in the world. What? So yeah, in this song, they literally say, "Hey Satan, paying my dues, playing in a rocking band. Hey mama, look at me. I'm on the way to the promised land. I'm on the way to the highway to hell." That's just what? You know, Argentina, their flag has 32 rays, just like the Society of Jesus. This is the 32nd edition of the Champions League. And if you remember Aguero's crowning moment, his crowning moment was when Manchester City beat Queen's Park Rangers 3-2. Queen's Park Rangers. Do you remember when he scored? Aguero, Balotelli assisted him, the Italian to the Argentine. And then you had Italy win the Euros, and then Argentina won the World Cup. And also, Argentina won the Copa America a day before Italy won the Euros. And when Francis became the Pope, he hosted the Argentine and Italian national team on the same day. Yeah, Germany has the SS, which looks like a 55. The lightning bolt connects to Lucifer, who was cast out of heaven like a lightning bolt. But for another 32, Queen Elizabeth was regnant of 32 sovereign states. Now check this out. You know Hummels? I'm going to have to go in 5 minutes. Guys, I know that you probably can't hit the like button because there's only 23 people watching. 22 likes. Matt Hummels just scored the winning goal that got Dortmund to the Champions League final a span of exactly 32 weeks before his birthday. 32nd edition. I said on my website, PSG are not going to score. It was plus money for both teams not to score. This is, again, if you bet, there's different ways of doing it. I was like, they're hitting the post, they're missing sitters. Just like the first leg, they're not going to score. Just my work ain't just about filling people's pockets. You know what I mean? Just because I don't say, guys, take both teams not to score, I'll leave my insights. They weren't going to score. Hit the post 4 times. Like, who's behind that? Is that not spiritual wickedness or some sort of code? To hit the woodwork 6 times and not score? But Queen Elizabeth II, she was regnant of 32 sovereign states. And she remained the monarch of 15 realms by the time of her death. Now that benefits Real Madrid because they can win the 32nd edition of the European Cup and get their 15th European Cup. And Elizabeth was regnant of 32 sovereign states and remained the monarch of 15 realms by the time of her death. Now, 32 plus 15 is 47, the 15th prime. I ain't going to ride off Real Madrid. Their code's immense. But does Ancelotti stay 4-1 in Champions League finals and not even get there? That World Cup began with 41 days left in the year. We just had Texas Rangers win the World Series 4-1 and the Nuggets win the NBA Finals 4-1. Guys, did you see the Nuggets lost to the Timberwolves by 26 points? Can somebody give me a woo? Hey, Chris, God bless you. How did the reigning NBA champions at home with a fully fit team who dominated the NBA this year, how are they losing by 26 points? It's the code. There was an amazing guy on my website, Justin. He literally, in play, said the Timberwolves are going to win by 26. So that's where you can bet on the spread. He said, I had a feeling they were going to win by 26. We know Kobe died the 26th day of the year. That Anthony Edwards was drafted the year Kobe died. Yeah, exactly, Chris. We've covered that, bro. It could be a replay 11 years later. And that's just the chances of that. Like I told you, Germany, the league is dominating this year, the year they're hosting the Euros, which begins on Trump's birthday, whose father was German. Repeat 11 years later, 4,015 days. It could be, mate. It really could be. But Hummels, by the way, got this winning goal 4 months and 21 days after his birthday, and the Queen's birthday is 4/21. How? And just to let you know, the Champions League final in 2013 between Bayern and Dortmund, which was exactly 7 years before George Floyd died, they announced on 6/16/2011 that it would be at England Stadium, Wembley. And they announced it on Jurgen Klopp's birthday. And then he coached them in that game. So again, there's a lot to factor in. But in 2011, FIFA, or UEFA, should I say, announced that the Champions League final for 2013 would be in London, England, on Jurgen Klopp's birthday. And then they win it. They get there and lose it, sorry. And then Klopp goes to England to coach for Liverpool, the Reds. Gundogan scored, didn't he? I think he scored a penalty. And then he was the captain for Man City last year. Gundogan was born with 68 days left in the year. He captained Man City to win the 68th edition of the European Cup, and they won it with a 68th minute winning goal. I don't know what to say. Honestly, I just don't know what to say. This was back in the day where the goalkeepers actually wore the number 1 jersey as well. I'm looking now. Don't you miss those days where a goalkeeper actually wore number 1? Not 99 or whatever the nonsense numbers they have now. Hummels made it. His 89th Champions League appearance. The Queen died on 8/9. Wow. Wow, so it's going to be his 90th Champions League appearance. The Champions League final. Guys, ain't this wild? Can somebody give me a woo if you think this is wild? Some numbers for Dortmund versus Real final. Yeah, Real Madrid have an unbelievable riddle. I've told you they can go 15-3 in European Cup finals on the 153rd day of the year. 153 is the 17th triangular number. The Euros is the 17th edition. However, Real Madrid can stay on 17 European Cup final appearances. 47th US president's getting announced this year, the 15th prime. And Real Madrid can get the 15th European Cup, but they can be 14-3. Kobe was born 823, the 143rd prime. I don't know where this game's going tomorrow. I'm going to have to code it. You're going to have to do whatever you want with what I share. I know, Ridley, you like Dortmund. You love an underdog. Dortmund were 9-1 to win the Champions League in the semi-final. So sometimes odds can put me off, but they were 5-1 to win today in 90 minutes. Because who thought they were going to win? They only needed a draw to qualify, correct? PSG kill everybody at home. I don't think many people saw PSG losing today, but well done if you took Dortmund. So odds can be deceiving at times. More often than not, 5-1 does not win. So Ams is saying will be 9,866 days on June the 1st, 2024, since Dortmund's last Champions League trophy. Queen died 9/8 and England won the World Cup in 66. For Dortmund to get this far, they've got to have some insane numbers just to get this far. I'll keep looking. Like Bellingham. Wouldn't it be like typical if Bellingham leaves Dortmund because he wanted to win the Champions League, and then the year after Dortmund win it? It's like Haaland as well. Haaland will be connected to this. He was at Dortmund. Haaland will be connected to this. There's no doubt that guy will be connected to it. Marco Reus is somebody I've got to heavily look into now. But for the first time in a very, 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 very long time, am I kind of excited to see what this game does tomorrow? I said in my website this game would be low scoring. There wouldn't be many goals. I said that. So like I said, there's different ways you can bet. I'm so gobsmacked PSG didn't score, to be honest with you, over 2 legs. Just tells me that these players are not in control ultimately. So Marco Reus, May the 31st. No, I don't want to lose that. And by the way, just to let you know, Aguero retired 1 year, 2 weeks, and 6 days after Maradona died. And the Argentina coach that won it in 78 died on the 126th day of the year. I just want to check the birthday of Reus. I don't think I've ever looked into Reus, if I'm honest with you. Wait, so he can win the Champions League in his last ever game a day after his birthday? Oh, 52 weeks exact before his next. 52 is when Elizabeth became the queen. And by the way, Dortmund became... PSG dropped to 2-1-3 all time against Dortmund, 2-1-3. And that could have gone either way. And the Champions League finals with 2-1-3 days left in the year. See how tough that is? Whoever lost was going to drop to 2-1-3. And the Champions League finals with 2-1-3 days left in the year. 213 days, which take away the 0 in 2013, it's 2-1-3. And that's when Dortmund played Bayern. Do you mind if I quickly check the odds? Then I've got to go. Guys, I hope you appreciate this work. I have an 8. Oh, I have 8. Yeah, I had some leftover pasta. I have 8. I'm wrong. You have the same birthday as Reus? Crazy. So Reus can win the Champions League a day after his birthday in his last ever game. Does that seem perfect? Anybody? Say yes or no. Just your gut feeling. Yes or no. Is it too perfect for club legend Reus to win the Champions League final a day after his birthday in his last ever game for Dortmund? Just say yes or no. For me, yes. I think it's too perfect, but I can be wrong about these perfect riddles. Some people like it. This is the beauty of this. Some people might go, no, that's the riddle. Riddler thinks it's the riddle. For me, I'm like, Reus. I just want to see the odds. So Real Madrid are pretty much plus money at home to win in 90 minutes. That tells me Real Madrid don't win in 90. Now, Real Madrid are minus 223 to qualify, which is the way you should always bet in these knockout games. And Bayern Munich are plus 150. So it's not a shock if Bayern qualify here in any capacity. They're plus 280 to win in 90. Now, you'd expect a shootout in this game or the final, but maybe not. About a week ago, I did Real Madrid to win the Champions League. I could be wrong. I have to give me a woo here. I have to code this game neutrally here. So the fact is, I got my Champions League pick wrong. I said Man City would beat Bayern Munich in the final. Bayern get there, I guess. Could I say I got half of it? I don't feel like I can say that, but yeah, I can say that, but I didn't do much on Bayern. I just thought it was going to be an English team against a German team, and I didn't even consider Dortmund. Literally, and with Harry Kane, that was my riddle for Bayern. I have to approach this game tonight from a neutral position and not be like Real Madrid are going to win. That's not what a good coder does. Swallow your pride sometimes. Will this have a lot of goals? I don't see like a 1-0. It could be. Remember, Harry Kane was born on 28-7 and PSG coach just stayed on 287 wins. That was the biggest thing for me, for Dortmund not to lose. That was the first thing I typed up. Let me check their records in the Champions League versus each other. Real Madrid have won 12. Bayern have won 11. And there's been 4 draws. If Real Madrid win, Bayern stay on 4 draws and 11 wins. That's Anton LaVey's birthday, who founded the Church of Satan. Oh, this is going to be really, really hard. Let me go on Ancelotti. Wait, Ancelotti's coached 61 matches for Real Madrid in the Champions League. All right, so it'll be 63 if he gets to the final. I don't see much in that. What's their season record in So Real Madrid haven't lost in the Champions League this season. If they drop to 8-3-1, that's when Princess Diana died. But they could go to 126 points with a win in all competitions. This is just going to be a nightmare, I believe, for Decoded. And Tuchel, he signed for Chelsea the 126th day of the year on Jose Mourinho's birthday, 1 year after Kobe died. And he actually coached for PSG when they lost the final on Kobe's birthday. If it's a draw, Bayern a 7-4-1 this season's Champions League. Manly P. Hall said 7-4-1 was Lucifer's number. Bayern can stay on 6 draws and 10 losses. That's Ancelotti's birthday. Oh man, I don't want to code this game. Bayern Munich stay on 96 points in all competitions. The Queen died at age 96. Jubilee was 96 hours. Dortmund have 9 draws and 6 losses in the league. But they could get their 97th point in all comps and 25th in the Champions League. 97, the 25th prime. The Queen died the 97th year of her life. Became the Queen at age 25. I don't know where to go with this. Where do I go with it? If I say Bayern are going to qualify, people screenshot my code for Real Madrid and say he's just covering himself. I'm not meaning to do that, though. That's the point. I'm not meaning to cover myself. I've always told you guys I go a day at a time. My pick was wrong for the Champions League, straight up. I'm just trying to figure out now who's going to win, and it's... I don't know. I don't know. I'm just... It can fry your head, guys, doing this. It can fry your head. I've done it 4 years. It can make you want to just poke your eyes out. I don't know who's winning tomorrow. I don't know. What's Harry Kane's birthday to tomorrow? I've noticed as well, guys, tomorrow's 5-8. And the Dortmund Bayern Munich Champions League final was the 58th edition of the European Cup. All right, so it's 81 days before Harry Kane's birthday tomorrow. Oh my word, guys! Harry Kane's birthday was 9 months and 11 days ago. A span. Harry Kane's birthday, span of 9 months and 11 days before the game tomorrow. Is Harry Kane scoring 9 months and 11 days after his birthday? He was born the 156th day of the year as well. No, he was born with 156 days left in the year. 9/11's the 156th prime. Is he going to pop up and score a penalty? It makes sense, man. If Bayern go through tomorrow, it makes just too much sense that Kane scores. Yeah, Man United lose it. My intuition was Dortmund, Real Madrid. And a lot of my mates can back me up with that. When it got to the semi-final, and this is annoying because I said Bayern before the season. I don't really have any conviction right now in this tournament. I've nailed it throughout in the games. The group stage games, knockout, I do really well. But again, remember, calling a future in the Champions League is so hard. You had Man City, you had Real Madrid, you had Bayern, then you always have teams like Dortmund that can sneak in, or Paris Saint-Germain. You might have a massive shock. Like Inter Milan got to the final last year. It's just too much to factor in. It's why you've got to go day at a time with this code and stuff. And yeah, you can do futures, but they're way harder, man. I'd rather take a team 5-1 when they're down in the NBA by 16, trust the code and they win, than do a future. But at least with futures, you can code. Lockwood placed a bet on Dortmund to get to the final against Bayern a while ago. All he needs to do now is bet on Real Madrid. Can somebody give me a woo? All he needs to take now, he bet a while ago on Dortmund Bayern final. Big value. Dortmund are there. Just bet on Real Madrid to get there. Make sure you win a profit. Come on, somebody give me a woo there. That's smart betting. You could say, oh, that's just covering himself. Yes, it is. So many futures, you'll get it. They'll get to a final and lose, and you've got nothing to show for it. What's the point? What is the point? Like my Man City FA Cup code, they should beat Man United. If Man City lose to Man United, who just got beat 4-0 by Palace, I don't need any codes to wake you up anymore. Man United are an embarrassment. They can't play football. All right? And they just got beat 4-0 by Palace. If somehow Man United beat City, I don't need a code to tell you why. You just need to know that it's rigged or coded or whatever word you want to use. Adam, thoughts on a 10-game parlay? Never do it. Burn your money. Burn your money. If you do a 10-game parlay in the Premier League every single week, I don't think you'll win one. I don't think you'll win one in 38 game weeks. If you have 10 teams, I don't think you'll win one. Don't do it, please. So, but your call. My code's City to win the FA Cup. I'm saying if United win it, it's an absolute joke. Look how they got there. They beat Coventry on penalties. I'm just trying to show you guys, I want to be at a point where I don't need to give you mind-blowing codes every day for you to see through this. If you get two German teams in a final in England, when I keep talking about World War III, and the Euros is in Germany, and if somehow England win it and Kane lifts that trophy, I don't need much more than that, do I? I can give you all the durations, the numbers, and blow your mind. I don't need much more than that. I hope, sorry if you've taken Real Madrid when I did a code, apologies, but I hope, not saying I think this happens, I hope Bayern Munich play Dortmund. And I hope England win the Euros in Germany, and ideally against Germany. I ain't saying that's going to happen, but I hope that happens just for the work. I've called about 90 futures. It don't matter to most people. They need to figure this out themselves. It's like the stuff with Taylor Swift. I've done about 5 videos about Swift. But unless people are going to come to terms with it, it don't matter how many incredible finds that I make about it. Do you know what I mean? Klopp leaves Liverpool and his old club reached the final. Both clubs have the same anthem. His last Champions League final was against Madrid. Yep, and he also began his career at Mans, where he was a player, and their anthems, You'll Never Walk Alone. It's why I said that if Klopp goes back into management, he's going to coach Celtic. Because they have You'll Never Walk Alone. There's something devilish about that song because they play it all the time. Adam, has Southgate called you up for the Euros? No, I am Southgate. Have you not seen the video? I am Southgate. I'm the one picking the players, mate. Dyer wears number 15, born the 15th day of the year. 115, the amount of charges Man City are facing. Yeah, Dyer, soldier. There's Dyer at the end. Yeah. Dyer is a joke of a footballer. Yeah, he kept playing for England. He started off as a centre mid, then he became a centre half, which is an embarrassment. And then Spurs fans wanted rid of him, and he goes to Bayern Munich with Harry Kane. BK2, me coding the death of the Argentina coach. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. I'm not happy that he died in any capacity. But look what I've revealed. Take your emotions out of it. If it doesn't feel right, is it right that I call out Taylor Swift or Islam or Catholicism or all professional sports or Kobe or whatever it is? You can say about everything. The devil wants you to feel that way. That guy died on 5-5. Okay? And Aguero retired exactly 55 weeks after Maradona died. I don't enjoy doing it. I don't get a thrill. I wasn't excited that he's dead, but I knew that it would factor into Argentina. Now, what I want to know before I leave, bro, why do United always lose to shite teams like Palace but seem to get the better out of Liverpool? I can't put my hands on it, bro. It's like everyone's saying Arsenal's going to annihilate Man United at Old Trafford. They probably won't. You're right. Man United played Bayern Munich this year. Literally, United played against Bayern and now they're getting spanked by Palace. Average Premier League team. I don't know. It makes no sense. Maybe what people tell you is that United's set up to attack against the lower teams. They get exploited. And when they play against the top teams, they sit back. They hit them on the break with Garnacho and Rashford and Anthony. They got speed. That's probably the logic behind it. And when they're playing against the lower level clubs, they're expected to attack them and they're not hitting them on the break. And then those players, like Rashford, Anthony, Garnacho, they don't like to track back. So maybe that would be the footballing logic. But yeah, Man United knocked out Liverpool of the FA Cup. They always seem to do well against the bigger teams. Well, not always. Remember when they got beat 7-0 by Liverpool? What a farce that was. Casemiro should not even be playing semi-pro. With his big old cheeks, he looks like a drag queen. Casemiro, right, this, for anyone who believes in all of this, Ten Hag should be fired. Ten Hag should be fired for one reason, for one main reason. All right, I'll tell you what it is, then I have to go. The main reason Ten Hag should be fired, if this was real and he was behind the selection, all right, and starting by constantly starting Casemiro, he should be fired. Can somebody give me a woo? He should be fired for that. Casemiro's been an absolute embarrassment. Does he score a few goals because he's good in the air? Yes, he is. Really good in the air. He should be gone. He shouldn't be in the squad. He's an absolute joke of a footballer now. I don't care what he did at Real Madrid and Brazil. All right? He should not be starting. And then they sign Eriksen, who had a cardiac arrest. Where's the logic in signing a player who has heart conditions? So none of it makes sense to me. I look at Man United's squad and it's medium. Man United's squad is no better than Crystal Palace's. I don't care what you all going to say to me for talent. All right? For talent. Like that Mitchell's better than Luke Shaw. Palace's goalkeeper's better. Palace's front three is better. Okay? Elise, Eze. Okay, midfield, all right. Probably not much difference. There's not much difference now between United's squad and the team like Palace. That's just the reality. So you can't be that. People are still thinking about Man United with Sir Alex. That ain't the team anymore. They are a bang average team. They're completely bang average. City are way better than them. Arsenal are way better than them. Liverpool are way better than them. Spurs are way better than them. Villa's squad's better. Chelsea's squad on paper's better. United should be around 7 or 8. All right, I don't think the squad's as good as Newcastle's, and that squad isn't even great. So, again, if it's all coded, anyone beats anyone. Anyone can beat anyone. And that's why it's not easy to code. Because any given day. Remember, Palace recently went to Anfield and beat them. Nobody expected that. Not one person. Arsenal for sure could win the league. I've said this. I'm not going to be shocked. I hope it's City, but yeah, they can win the 14th title. They've won 14 FA Cups. Their leading goal scorer was number 14, Thierry Henry. The 14-year-old kid was just killed by a sword. Their captain was born with 14 days left in the year. Madrid can stay on 14 Champions Leagues. It's all war. So, yeah, of course Arsenal can win. They have every war number there is. Would I be shocked if they win? No. No. Of course, there's only a few games left as well, so anyone's not going to be shocked at this point. I said, oh, yeah, I'm not going to be shocked. Celtic Rangers match, yeah, I'll code it. I'm so good with the old firm. Basically, if Celtic win, it's done. Title's wrapped up, you would say. So I don't know if it's going to be a gimme. I expect a red card. Iron Hand said it makes no sense. If I'm completely honest, there seems to be some kind of weird energy whenever United somehow get a result like that and then they're awful the next day. Yeah, they'll get a massive win and it looks like Ten Hag's turned the club around. And then they get smashed. Look what they did against Chelsea. They were leading 3-2, weren't they? And they conceded 2 in the 100 and 101st minute. How does a Premier League team, and they've got loads of experience, have a 3-2 lead with a minute left and lose? It don't make any logical sense. At all. No, I think there'll be a red card because the second horseman is war, rides a red horse. It's Catholic, Protestant. That's why they always play on a Sunday, those two teams against each other. Arsenal could win 20 years, 24 days after they last won it. Do you know the Champions League is 20 months and 24 days? Champions League finals 20 months and 24 days after the Queen died. So that's big. So Arsenal can win the Premier League 20 years and 24 days after they last won it. And the Champions League final in England is 20 months and 24 days after the Queen died. That's interesting because the only team that's ever had tea with the royal family in Buckingham Palace is Arsenal, the Invincibles. 49 games undefeated. Philip died on 4-9. So yeah, if Arsenal win it, I know a lot of people on my website bet on them to win it. Because at the start of the season, I said, I think Man City win it, but place a bet on Arsenal at 4-1. I said it, it's all there. You had a choice. Why? Because Arsenal's code's amazing and they have value, and City had no value. They were even money, unless you were going to bet thousands on them. Just kind of like sound, logical betting advice from me. Never said Liverpool on my website. So I have to go. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm knackered again. Thanks for some of your insights. If you're not on that website, please check it out. I believe we've got a year, maybe 2 max, where we can do this, where we can interact and we somewhat have a safe space. We can share our insights. We can be somewhat controversial. All right. Yes, I get demonetized, whatever. But I don't think we have long left to share this type of information. So I want you guys to learn it, because it won't always be somebody like me doing streams. So brilliant insights from a lot of you. Thank you. Who's going to win tomorrow? I don't know. Am I going to code it? Yes. Am my website going to share their insights? Yes. Probably figure out who's going to score. It's all fun and games at the end of the day with this stuff. Riddler, God bless you, mate. Arsenal can get to 89 points. Queen died on 8-9. Yeah. There's so much to factor in, mate. And like, if City drop points, who they're going to drop points to? People say they're going to drop points to Fulham. I want to know why. But let's go a game at a time, yeah? Yeah, Casemiro leaves Real Madrid, wins the Champions League 5 times to go with United, who were struggling. And he said he left because Ronaldo told him to, even though Ronaldo didn't enjoy his time at United the second time. Made no sense. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. Please start liking all my videos and sharing them. Even go back. Do me that favor. If you have 5 spare minutes, just go through my videos and ping a like. It helps me. Just do that for me. I would really appreciate it. And tomorrow, I think I have time. I'll break down the game. You guys share your insights. And together we'll try and figure out why they're in the Champions League final, these 2 teams, and who's going to win it. You know what I mean? It'll be kind of interesting doing that. And I think it's going to help us figure out who's going to win the Euros. I know if it's a draw, Bayern will have 1 loss, 4 draws, and 7 wins in this year's Champions League. 1-4-7. I know the Euros end in Germany on 14-7. My gut tells me a draw tomorrow, as of now, but that's just now. And draws are massive value. You hardly get many draws because they're huge value. They're like 3-1, 4-1 on a draw. So yeah, guys, I look forward to what you share on my website with your finds, and God bless you all. I'm off. Take care. Much love. And if anybody wants my books, guys, just drop me an email. It's so worth $9, $10. It really is. If you care about coding and the truth. All right. Bye, guys.